Heather Marchese from 1 Million Moms Against Gun Control is on the program right now. Heather, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thanks for coming on the program. And, we've been talking a little about this Moms Demand Action Everytown for gun safety, or Everytown for gun control map that they put up. A lot of the media around the country has just been blindly accepting of this. We just read a news report out of Lufkin, Texas, where they say, and they don't cite Everytown. They just say there have been 74 shootings, school shootings, since the murders at Sandy Hook Elementary. Now, Charles Johnson, investigative journalist, took a look at every one of these incidents, and he said that he would classify 6 of these 74 as school shootings similar to what happened at Sandy Hook Elementary. CNN took a look at these numbers, and they found what they would classify as quote-unquote school shootings, in which a student was involved, and this happened during school hours. They said that there were 15 of these incidents, which is a lot less than 74, Heather.
Right. According to Everytown, they're averaging just over 4 so-called school shootings a month. And according to CNN, with what they've come up with the 15, that actually boils down to like 1 every 5 weeks, which is a far cry from Moms Demand in Everytown, for a month. Charles Johnson, actually, I was reviewing his tweets. I was actually watching them as he was putting them out yesterday, and I'm just like, I could not believe that. Last night I'm watching Fox, and they're, drumming up with the 74. I think it was Shepard Smith. He was coming out with the 74 number. I'm like, what happened to these guys fact-checking? It's really not that hard to do. It really is not that hard to do. Google is fairly accessible. I don't understand why everybody just takes Moms Demand in Everytown's word and they just run with it. I don't get it. I really don't, Cam.
Well, this is the thing, and here's the problem, because, if KTRE or any of these other news agencies were to cite a statistic or a graph or something from the NRA, pretty sure they'll let people know. The NRA says, right? And that's all it would be a matter of. The gun control group, Everytown for Gun Safety, says there have been.
Right.
But that's not what's being reported. And again, right. I think a lot of this... Look, I think there's probably more than one reason. In some cases, we probably have this reporter in Lufkin, Texas, graduated in 2012. Maybe it's possible she graduated without learning that you need to cite your sources.
Right.
Maybe she forgot. In some cases, though, I think we have agenda-driven journalism.
Oh, yeah. This is what happens when you have a very well-oiled propaganda machine. And I'm sorry, but that's exactly what this is. It's just all propaganda that they put out. One of the shootings was a husband killed his wife in a church parking lot. Where does that classify as a school shooting? I don't get it. I don't have a degree in journalism. I've never went to school for journalism. I'll admit that myself. But again, fact checking on yourself, it's not that hard to do. It really is not that hard to do. When she's listing the West Side Elementary claim, there was a gun in the backpack. There was absolutely no evidence of harmful intent whatsoever. None. You know what I mean? And that was labeled as a school shooting. I'm surprised they did not label the little girl with the Hello Kitty bubble gun and the little boy back in Maryland with the, that shoot his Pop-Tart. I am so surprised that they did not label those school shootings. I'm serious.
They did label a case of self-defense as a quote-unquote school shooting. So again, any crime of violence that occurred on a school campus, that was it. Or not even a crime of violence, self-defense. Tragic suicides, anything that they could say was a quote unquote school shooting. That's what they were going to say, because they want to leave the impression that, again, a Sandy Hook like event is happening every 4 days in this country. That's what they want Americans to believe, and that's not true.
Absolutely not. No.
All right, listen, I want to ask you as well about the concealed carry holder who was killed in Las Vegas. As he tried to stop this active shooter, the couple there in Walmart. You all at 1 Million Moms Against Gun Control, I know a lot of people around the country are trying to help out. There's a fund that's been established through Wells Fargo in Las Vegas for the family, but you too are trying to help out the Wilcox family, right?
We actually have come to find out. I'm heartbroken about it. Joseph was one of our followers. He was one of our supporters. If you go back on our page and you look at comments and posts on our wall, Joseph was always there, always there. There was comments left and right. He showed support. When we took the trip to Indy, We designed a shirt on Teespring. Joe was constantly pushing that shirt, buy one. I think he actually bought one, but I don't know that for sure. But he was one of our supporters. And when we found out that he was the one, that was lost that day, it was a strike to us. It was just like we lost one of our own family, because everybody that you talk to in our group will tell you that our group is not just, the people behind the scenes. It's everybody. We are true grassroots. We consider all of our followers our people. Joe, I spoke with his mother, and let me tell you, it was the most heartbreaking phone call I ever in my life made, ever in my life made. And when she said what she said about her son and the fact that we lost somebody like that, and that's the kind of people, Cam, that we have standing with us, and that's what I'm so proud of, is these people that have that much honor and that much integrity and that much bravery to put themselves at risk to stop what he thought was a potential problem for many, many innocent people. Yes, we are. Actually, I'm sorry. We're doing a scholarship. We've never done one before, so we're still looking into it. I've spoke with Deborah, his mother, and Jack, his brother. We're going to do a scholarship. We're going to start small. I don't imagine right now, because we're not really that big yet, for the donations to come pouring in, insurmountably to have a big one. But I'm hoping to do at least $250 a year for the first couple of years that we have it, and it's going to be what the family's going to do is they're going to pick the qualities of the student that would earn the scholarship, and that's how we'll award it, is through what the family sees. I'd like to do it for schools that have like a rifle club or a rifle team or something like that in their school. But we also have a link. I have it pinned to the top of our Facebook page right now. Is a link that I have set up. It's through fundraiser.com. And all the donations on that link go to help Jack with the funeral expenses for the family, to cover any final expenses that Joseph may have had.
That is very, very kind of you, Heather. And, again, I appreciate you talking to Joseph's mom. I know that, again, I don't know the pain that she's going through, but I can only imagine. And it sounds like her son was a genuinely good guy. Family and friends say that he was a caring and concerned man, that this was not out of character for
right.
Joseph Wilcox to want to try to help.
Right. And that's what she said. She said, my son was pro-gun, but that does not mean he was pro-kill. And those words, I think, will forever echo in my head, and they will forever instill in my mind, that the people that, people like you, people like me, we don't look to be these armed insurgents and militias that I notice a couple of the anti-gun groups on Facebook have taken the claim to. We're just everyday people. And if that means that we're going to put our life on the line, I know if I was in that situation, if I was in the position Joseph was in, I honestly can tell you that I don't know if I would do the same thing. I don't know if I'd have it in me. So for him to do that and to take it upon himself and put his life out there like that, it's phenomenal. I mean, it's, he's a hero, and that's all I really do have to say about it. He really is. He went out a hero.
Yep, I would agree with you. And we've seen we're going to be talking about this a little bit on the Sportsman Channel show this afternoon, but we've seen some commentary from pieces from people who are sorry, Freudian slip there, from people who actually say Joseph Wilcox is not a hero. Who say Joseph Wilcox did the wrong thing. Joseph Wilcox should have run away. Joseph Wilcox should not have had a gun there. And Joseph Wilcox died for no reason whatsoever. And call him what you will, but he wasn't a hero, and what he did was not heroic, and we shouldn't be talking about stuff like this. In fact, we should be talking about banning concealed carry. We should be talking about why it's a bad idea to carry a gun for self-defense. And I got to tell you, Heather, look, I'm not surprised to see comments like this.
Right.
But those folks could not be more wrong.
I posed the question to somebody, it's actually on the Target page. I noticed a back and forth bannering the other day, and I had posted a comment. In my one question, I had a single solitary question, because they actually brought Joseph's name up about that too. And I said to him, here's my think this over thing. Which one was the one that did the mass killing or the shooting? Who was the one that went in there and decided to take innocent lives? Was it the concealed carry holder? Or was it the man that walked in there with the gun, screaming at the top of his lungs, this is the revolution, blah, blah, blah? Which is the one that we should have the problem with? Not the concealed carry holder. It's not the gun. It's the person. It's the person. We cannot get that through their heads.
No, absolutely. You're right. Because the same motivation that led Joseph Wilcox to turn towards the danger instead of running out of that store is the same motivation that, in Boston when those bombs went off and we saw dozens of people running towards the danger, running towards the blast, not knowing if another one was coming, but they ran to help out. They ran to see if there were survivors who needed help. That's that same attitude, that same action, and it's the same mindset. And so when you go after Joseph Wilcox for turning right instead of left, and for facing that attack rather than running out the door, then what you're saying is, in any of these cases of danger, that do the smart thing, run away, think of yourself, think of your own safety first. And don't think about those who may need help. Don't think about, and it's not even about, you don't think about trying to be a hero. I don't think Joseph Wilcox was thinking about trying to be a hero. I think he was trying to help.
Right.
And
no, Joseph wasn't looking to, he was there returning a modem with a friend. That's what he went to Walmart for that day. He didn't wake up and decide, I'm going to put my gun on and I'm going to wear my superhero cape and see who I can, go out and be a vigilante and try to save today. No, that's not the case at all. He was an everyday person, just like you or me, doing his everyday duties, his everyday daily tasks, and whatever it is he does. He went to Walmart, he tried to return a modem, and he tried to stop something that he had no other control over. The only thing that equalized him between him and the criminal was the gun on his waist, and he tried to use it to stop the shooting, to stop the murder, to stop the madness. So a good guy with a gun potentially could have stopped the bad guy with a gun. Unfortunately, he did not realize she was his wife and was right there behind him. And I'm sorry, I will not mention her name.
That's fine. Heather, listen, I appreciate you coming on the program, and thank you again for everything you're doing. I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Absolutely, Cam. Thanks so much for having me again.
My pleasure. Heather Marchese joins from 1 Million Moms Against Gun Control.